We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions Edition, presented by our friends at Modelo. This comes after the Tar Heels have a big second half and top State in at the Smith Center 79-70, the final score in Chapel Hill on Saturday. So, Adam Lucas, that's Adam over there. I'm Jones. Adam, it was 45-37 State at halftime. In the first half, the Pack shot 58%. They were 7 of 11 from 3 and seemed like they were making everything that they took and, quite honestly, had some good looks to take. Carolina's defense, totally different in the second half. Cormac Ryan guarding DJ Horne in particular felt like a big deal. The Pack goes 6 of 27. That's 22%, 2 of 8 from 3 in the second half. That allows Carolina to flip what was a 10-point deficit right at the beginning of the second half because State scored early in that half to lead by as many as 13 and eventually win it by 9.
And on a day when R.J. Davis and Armando Bacot weren't fantastic, I mean, they were good as per usual, but the Tar Heels able to win it without superhuman efforts from them. Harrison Ingram really good with his season-high 22. But it felt like, as you said, it was defense, and it was State just not only not able to make shots, but not even able to get the looks that they got in the first half.
Yeah, State had, I believe it was 7 turnovers in the second half after just 2 in the first half. So Carolina forced some miscues, forced some more difficult looks. There was like a shot clock violation in there, I think. And there was at one point, Adam, with about maybe 9-10 minutes left, where Kevin Keatts just took a timeout because his team was just getting so frustrated and mad, and they had gotten a couple offensive fouls, and it just was going the wrong way, and you could see it, that State was frustrated with how Carolina was playing defensively.
And Hubert Davis said this a few games ago, that Cormac Ryan was made for moments like this. He's kind of made for moments like that second half, where he's really good at frustrating the other team, and he frustrated DJ Horne. At one point, he and Kevin Keatts were kind of talking to each other, and you couldn't quite tell if it was good intentions or not. But that's perfect for him, and he was really good defensively. So
I chatted with Coach Davis. Adam talked to Harrison Ingram, who had as Adam just told you, a season high, so a Carolina career high, 22 points. He also had 6 rebounds and 2 steals. Elliot Cadeau was really good in this game, Adam, 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He could add some more assists, too. He had some good passes that some Tar Heels missed some easy looks. Felt like those two, as far as individual players offensively, were the 2 biggest deals for Carolina tonight.
Cadeau had 2 passes that I thought were great. The first one was in the first half to Ingram on the break and transition. Yeah. I don't know how he got it through there. You'll hear Harrison Ingram talk about that. And then in the second half, Cadeau had the ball on the right wing, and Armando Bacot was kind of cutting through the free throw line, and you thought, oh, that's the easy pass to make, and that'll probably be a basket. And somehow he saw Ingram on the other side for a 3 and made that pass, and Carolina got the 3 instead of just maybe the 2. I don't know how he saw either one of those, but when he is seeing the floor that way, Carolina's offense looks very good.
And you see some of Cadeau right there finishing at the rim. He hit a 3-pointer in this game, which was his 8th make of the season. There's that pass, cross-court in transition, gracious, from Cadeau to Harrison Ingram. And Adam, time and time again, Cadeau was able to get to the rim, and that felt like a big deal.
When you watch a game like this, I think you can really imagine what he could be as a sophomore. Mm-hmm. Like, he's good as a freshman, but when you eliminate some of the things he does that maybe aren't quite as productive and just turn him into a year older version of what he is now, that's really a force. That's an all ACC type player.
So, Tar Heels win at 79-70. Let's get to our interviews. Coach Davis, I spoke with Coach. Adam talked with Harrison Ingram, and then we'll come back on the back half and wrap things up. It's a rapid reactions edition after Carolina beats State by 9 of the Carolina Insider. 79-70, the final score. Carolina outscores State 42-25 in the second half to flip what was an 8-point halftime deficit. 10-point deficit early in the second half and eventually win it by 9. Coach, your defense in the second half, the story of this one, what did your team do better in that second half on the defensive side?
I felt like we competed. At the beginning, before the game, we talked about, we wanted to compete in 3 areas. One, on the ball, whether it was, one-on-one, ball screen, in the post. We wanted to compete off the ball by being in active gaps and help position to be able to, whether you're on the lane line or the midline. And then we wanted to compete on the boards. We wanted to be physical, make contact first, box out, and rebound. I don't think we did a really good job rebounding in the second half, but I thought we really competed on the ball. Our physicality on the ball. I always say if you take care of the basketball, everything else will take care of itself. And I just felt like our energy, our effort, our willingness to get stops fueled us on the offensive end and allowed us to play really well. 22% in the second half, I mean, that's elite.
DJ Horne is such a talented offensive player, and he was on fire there in the first half. Cormac Ryan drew the assignment a large majority of the second half and seemed to do a really good job against him.
Really good. I mean, Cormac has size, and his ability just to get through and around screens, he made DJ just work really hard, and I just felt like in the second half he made him work so hard that his shots were coming up short, in large part because, the defensive effort on Cormac. And so, as I've said this a number of times, Cormac brings so much to this team that allows us to be the best that we can be, and today one of the things that helped us was his on-ball defense against DJ Horne.
For the second time in 2 games against State this year, it feels like Elliot Cadeau really played a big role for your team offensively, kind of controlling the action. He had 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds in this game, and there were multiple times where he was really making things happen for you.
He really was. His ability to get into the paint and make things happen is just huge for us. He has an ability, even through contact, to be able to score, distribute. We wanted to get him in isolation, ball screen action, especially in the middle third of the floor where he's really good at, and it's very difficult to trap or to double team him. He was able to split defenders, get around, and just his vision and being able to see wide open three-pointers and guys cutting to the basket. He was elite today, and he was able to finish and knock down free throws. He was really good.
Coach, there haven't been many times this year where your team's been down double digits. You found yourself down 10 early in that second half. Kind of what's your approach with the guys when you're in a little bit of trouble? Obviously a ton of time left to go, but what was your approach at halftime and then maybe early in the second half?
Well, I mean, I always say, how are you going to react and how are you going to respond? So, just because they hit that jumper to put them up by 10, still how are we going to respond in the second half, especially from a defensive standpoint and our physicality. I really thought when things got a little chippy, that got us going too. And I got fired up and our guys got fired up, and we talked about raising the level of our competitive fire but also staying in control of our emotions. And from that point on, I felt like we just took off.
Heading into the final week of the regular season, your team's in good position, still work to do, but in good position atop the ACC. Just kind of your thoughts here as we head into the final week of the regular season.
Haven't had a lot of time to think, to be honest with you. I do know that Tuesday is the last time a number of our guys are going to run out of that tunnel, and that gives me tears of joy but also sadness. The year has gone by so quick, but we have an opportunity on Tuesday against a really good Notre Dame team that's playing their best basketball late in the season. We have a great opportunity to at least have a share of the ACC, and for these guys to be able to hang their first banner. I think that's huge. So in terms of motivation, I talked to them after the game. I said, you guys got one more win, and you're guaranteed that you're going to hang a banner, and this is something that I really desperately want for this year's group.
Carolina gets in position to do that with a 79-70 win over NC State. Again, thanks to an incredible second half. Tar Heels hold the pack to just 6 made field goals in the second half, outscore State 42-25. Coach, congratulations on the win. Look forward to talking with you this week.
All right, thank you.
That's Hubert Davis, a very dapper-looking Hubert Davis today, guys, in the Tar Heel locker room, the Continental Tire of Coach's Corner.
Alongside Harrison Ingram after Carolina beats NC State. Harrison has a season-high 22. Harrison, that just felt like a good old Saturday afternoon ACC game. What did it feel like out there sort of attitude-wise?
It was a rivalry game, NC State. Fans were there to show up. We knew we had to come out hard, and they came out in the first half hitting everything. DJ Horne was killing. Number 1 was hitting shots that we didn't think he was going to hit, but, we had to come together as a team, play hard, and we ended up getting the win.
So why were they not as hot in the second half? They didn't even get as many looks from 3 as they got in the first half.
I'll get that to our guards, Cormac Ryan, Seth, RJ, Elliott, the pressure that we had on them. We picked up full court, started denying them a little bit, making them work more, and taking away where our defensive game plan was to take away Burns, but then we switched it to the guards and it worked.
I want to ask you about a play in the first half. You're running the floor hard, and Elliot Cadeau has the ball. And somehow he saw you for a layup. How did he see you, and how does that encourage just the tempo that Hubert Davis talks about all the time?
Well, first off, he's the best passer I've ever seen, I've ever played with personally. So I know if I'm open, if I'm running, I mean, you see all the times he hits me with no-look passes in the corner for threes. And, if I know if I'm playing hard, if I run the court, I know I'm going to get found. And, on a team like this, when there's a bunch of good players and we share the ball and it's so effortless, I mean, the sky's the limit.
You had a season-high 22, but it didn't feel like – it was kind of a surprising 22. How were you able to get that many just kind of in the flow of the game?
Just playing the game and following the scouting report, I knew that DR was a really good rebounder, their four-man, but he didn't really box out well, so I would crash late. I had a few putbacks there, and then, just knocking down open shots. In the post, he was a bigger guy, so facing up and using my quickness and my strength rather than trying to bully him because he's a little bit bigger than me, and, just playing to the game plan.
One more win would be a share of the ACC regular season title. That's something Coach Davis has talked about all year long. What's the emphasis been there as we go into the last week of the regular season?
The emphasis is to get both. I mean, we don't want to share the title. We want to have it to ourselves.
How would you accomplish not sharing it?
We beat Notre Dame. We beat Duke. And, yeah, we get the title. We celebrate. We go out, have fun, party.
It's a plan. You heard it right from Harrison Ingram. That's what I agree. We should do that. Tar Heels beat the Wolfpack. Harrison has 22. Harrison, thank you.
Appreciate it.
So again, 79-70, the final. Tar Heels improved to 23-6. And more importantly than that, Adam, 15-3 in conference action. And as we are doing this, Duke had a big lead at last report against Virginia, so it feels like Blue Devils likely going to hold on to that and still be a game behind the Tar Heels with 2 games left, and sets up a big final week here upcoming in the ACC.
It was interesting to hear the dichotomy of Harrison Ingram and Hubert Davis talking about this last week just a minute ago. You heard Harrison Ingram say he didn't want any part of a tie, and then you heard Hubert Davis say Tuesday is a big one because you can hang a banner. And I think they're basically saying the same thing, and they're both right. Tuesday is a really big one because Hubert Davis has been talking about the regular season since day one. And so Tuesday is a chance to get that. But I promise you that if the Tar Heels are fortunate enough to win that one, he will immediately say he doesn't want to share it.
Yeah. So that game is Tuesday at 7. And, Adam, we'll talk about Senior Day more in this upcoming week. But you saw it there with Hubert Davis, and I'm glad you got a chance to see it here on this because you could hear it in his voice if you were listening on the radio, but you could tell, like, he was emotionally affected by the fact that Carolina has Senior Day coming up. And in today's college basketball, I get that it's different. Like Cormac Ryan has been here 1 year. That doesn't mean that we don't love Cormac Ryan. He's had a great season. Armando Bacot and R.J. Davis are a little different. Those are 2 guys that have played a combined 9 years at Carolina. Bacot's been a starter since his freshman year. Davis has been a starter since his sophomore year and played a bunch his freshman year too. These are guys that have been a part of a coaching change and that Final Four run and just so many different things that have happened here over the last several seasons. There is a lot going into those 2 guys playing, at least in Bacot's instance, for sure the final time in the Smith Center, and potentially R.J. Davis's as well.
When you look back at some of the players they came in with, you realize how long ago that was. And it's going to be our job between now and Tuesday to remind people, look, it's a weeknight 7 o'clock game at the Smith Center. It is going to be hard to get here. If you wait till 6:45 to say, I should head over there, you're going to be late. The idea is be in your seat by 6:30 so that people can really be part of honoring all the seniors, but especially Armando and RJ. Tip-off club will be open.
Yeah, let's go.
Starting at 5 o'clock. Just come over at 5. Yeah. Beat the traffic that way. You'll trick the traffic by getting here before it even starts, and then you can pregame at the tip-off club, then mosey on in at 6:30 and watch Senior Day.
Yeah, Bacot came in with Cole Anthony, didn't he? It's hard to believe.
I mean, that seems like a different era of Carolina basketball.
It was. So, anyway, that's for Tuesday. For today, it's Carolina winning by 9, 79-70 over NC State. Tar Heels get the win over the Pack in the Smith Center. Thanks for being with us here on the latest edition of a Rapid Reactions edition of the Carolina Insider.